Zion Williamson had a situation recently, the NBA superstar, where allegedly, because I don't know his business and don't care to know it, but all over the internet it was saying that he was involved with one woman, possibly a stripper or something like that, and he was having a baby by another woman. And when the stripper found out, she tried to destroy him. Why? Because there was no love there. There was no love and there was no respect. Peace in Pan-Africanism, peace in Pan-Africanism, peace in Pan-Africanism. This is your big brother, Dr.Umar Ifatunde Ogun Tade. In this conversation, I want to discuss love versus dependency. Love versus dependency. As we all know, there's a lot of conflict in the Black community right now. Brothers and sisters at each other's throats, scapegoating each other for their own mistakes and lack of accountability and responsibility. Black romance is at an all-time low when you look at us as a group, although we do have some very, very, very promising and shining examples of Black love at every age group, for that matter, in every age group and at every age level, for that matter. But I'm going to talk about this issue of love versus dependency, because people think they're in love when they're really just dependent on that other person for their own emotional stability. You understand? That person is simply a distraction away from the focus that you should be applying to oneself. So let's talk about love versus dependency. When you love someone, you are unapologetically and uncategorically committed to their growth and happiness as an individual. In order to love them, in order for it to be true love, you must want the best for them, even if it doesn't include you. I want to say this again. I want you to enter, under, and overstand me. I'm going to say this again, and I want you to enter, over, and understand me. Love is not conditional. Love is not conditional. If your love is conditional, it's not love. It may be a romantic contract. It may be a relationship contract. It may be an emotional contract. It may be a sexual contract. It may be a financial contract, but it's not love. And I'm not saying there's necessarily anything more with those aforementioned types of contracts if both people come into the situation with full disclosure and understanding. As long as no one is being manipulated into it, I don't have a problem with those kinds of contracts, because at certain points in our life, we need functional relationships versus expansive relationships. In other words, if you just need a woman to cook for you, you want a woman for the purposes of cooking and sex. That is a functional relationship. It's not expansive. It's not intended to help her grow. And you're not expecting her to help you grow. She simply has something that you want. A lot of women have functional contracts with men. You just want their money, their status, their notoriety. You're not interested in helping them be the best person they can be, and they're not necessarily interested in helping you become the best person you can be. You understand? In order for it to be love, it usually has to be an expansive relationship where there is full commitment with an expectation that we are going to be together forever or for a sizable amount of time. Love, for it to be true, is non-conditional. For example, the love I have for my race is unconditional. Whether you're a thief, whether you're a murderer, whether you're gay, whatever your issue is, I'm still going to love you because my love for African people is unconditional. I will hold you accountable. I will criticize you. I may have to dismiss you from my life, but I'm always going to love you. I'm not going to ever intentionally do something to undermine your happiness. I may do something to undermine the harm you intend to bring to the community, but it's never personal. I'm never trying to hurt you. When you love somebody, There is never an agenda of revenge. When you love somebody, there's never any type of an agenda to harm. Most of us don't love. We're either in contracts with people. See, a business contract doesn't require love. Me and my cousin going to open up a sneaker store. That's my cousin, so there may be some love there. But I don't have to love him to open up a sneaker store. Me and my next door neighbor going to open up a landscaping business. I don't have to love him to go into business with him. Me and someone I graduated from college with, we about to open up some restaurants. I don't have to love her to open up the restaurants. It's business. Business doesn't require love. Business is functional. We're going to come together and build this business and work it together until we no longer want it, or until you no longer serve my needs, or the business no longer serves my needs. The problem with us, because we want the security that comes with another person believing we're in love with them or committed to them. We want the comfort and security that comes from the other person believing we love them, that we lie. A lot of us, we will lie to the other person and make them think we love them when we don't, because we just want the security that comes with the other person believing that we love them. Don't manipulate, don't lie. Don't manipulate, don't lie. There's marriages where people don't love each other. They say they do, but each party knows they're not in love. It's functional. You're a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. You need to protect your money, I need to protect my money. We really don't have anybody else we can really build relationships with that we can trust. So we're just going to come together, and we may stay married for the rest of our life. But because each of us is largely emotionally stable, we can tolerate each other across the lifespan. It's not love. It's respect, but it's not love. It is a contract. It is a relationship contract. That's it. Many of our relationships are just contractual. They're not relational. There's no commitment to the person. There's a commitment to what they bring. There's a commitment to what they can do. Why do you think there's so much trauma and drama when we break up? Why is there so much trauma and drama when we get a divorce? If that relationship was based on love, there would have been no trauma after the breakup. There's no need. There can be, if two people genuinely loved each other, but decided they can no longer live with each other, because that can happen. Oh, that can most definitely happen. You love each other, but you can no longer live with each other. You divorce, you break up. One person does something to contradict your expectations. He cheated, that contradicted your expectations and agreement. It's over. She discussed your personal business with her family that contradicted your expectations and agreement. It's over. But there's no need for drama. I forgive you, but I can no longer trust you. Let's go our separate ways. Give me a hug, give me a kiss. Let's make love one last time. It's over, but there's nothing bad I have to say about you. There's nothing bad you have to say about me. And more importantly, there's nothing harmful we have to do to one another. Zion Williamson had a situation recently, the NBA superstar, where allegedly, because I don't know his business and don't care to know it, but all over the internet it was saying that he was involved with one woman, possibly a stripper or something like that, and he was having a baby by another woman. And when the stripper found out, she tried to destroy him. Why? Because there was no love there. There was no love and there was no respect. There was no love and there was no respect. Zion Williamson was functional for her. She was looking for money, status, stability, whatever she was looking for, maybe a long-term relationship. She had some expectations that he may or may not have dishonestly conveyed to her she would receive. And so she decided to destroy. If someone ever tries to destroy you, I can guarantee you they didn't love you. They could have loved you at some point and fallen out, but they didn't fall out of love because they found out you cheated. It don't work that way. You don't stop loving somebody because you found out they cheated. You may stop trusting them. You may end the relationship. You may no longer desire to be with them, but you don't stop loving somebody on the moment. Love is too deep a spiritual reality. Love it contains too much energy. It does not end in a second. It takes time to get over love. You don't just wake up tomorrow and try to destroy the person you loved yesterday. It was not love. It was dependency. First of all, an emotionally imbalanced person can't love nobody right anyway, because they don't even love themselves. If you're dealing with mental illness, you can't love another person in a healthy manner because you don't even love yourself yet. You got people running around talking about, I love you. I can't live without you. First of all, when somebody says they can't live without you, when someone says they can't live without you, that's normally a sign of dependency. That's not love. Love is not dependency. I can love somebody and I can still live without them. Oh, yes. It may hurt to move on, but I know there's life after this relationship when I love somebody. But when I'm dependent on somebody, when I need you to exist, when I need you to function, that is not love. That is psychological dependency and emotional dependency. A crack addict, they're not in love with crack. They're dependent on it. Opioid, you're not in love with the substance. You're dependent on the substance. A lot of our relationships are unhealthy because one partner or the other is dependent. They're using that person to distract them from the work of self. We assume people in a relationship are healthier than people who are not. That's not true. It all depends on the type of relationship they have. I need you around or I'm going to self-destruct. You cheat on me, I'm going to kill you. First of all, anytime a lover murdered a lover, there was no love. That was dependency. I'm going to say it again. All these stories in the media of black men killing their spouse, black men killing his girlfriend, black women stabbing her husband up, that was not love. Love could not do that. That was dependency. You were dependent on that person. And here's the sin of dependency. Here is the sin of dependency. The sin of dependency is the only person who's allowed to be overly dependent on anything other than the Almighty. The only person we're supposed to be overly dependent on is the Almighty. Once your husband, your spouse, your wife, your girlfriend becomes more important to your survival than the Almighty supreme ruler of the universe. When a human being eclipses the love, dependency, and attachment you have for God, you are now in a state of sin. This is going to go over some of your heads. And if you don't have a spiritual foundation, this will make no sense to you at all. Capitalistic-minded, European-centric Negroes, this won't make any sense to you. I'm going to say it again. Only the spiritually enlightened will understand this point. Your love for nothing on this planet, not your parents, not your children, not your business, not the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, nothing on this earth, not your dog, your home, your car, your bank account, your money, your savings, nothing, the sex that you get from that woman, nothing, the sex you get from that man, nothing on earth should exceed the love, attachment, and dependency you have on supreme consciousness. If you love that woman more than God, first of all, it's not love because it's unhealthy. It's detachment. It's dependency. You are now in a state of sin because that person has now become your God. That man has now become your God. That woman has now become your God. Nothing should exceed your dependency on the Lord. But when you say, I can't live without this woman, I can't live without that man, that's dependency. That's not love. Love is free. Love is complete commitment to the other person's best interest. Love is a charitable act. Love is never selfish. Love is a charitable act. When you're in love with somebody, you're committed to their best interest independent of your own. That's love. When you're dependent on somebody, it's about you. It ain't about them. Dependency is about you. This is why I always tell you, emotionally unhealthy people are spiritual vampires. Why would you get into a relationship with one? Emotionally unhealthy people are spiritual vampires. Why would you get into a relationship with one? Emotionally unhealthy people are spiritual vampires. Why would you get into a relationship with a spiritual vampire? You must have dependency problems as well.